Hey guys, welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. Here's my guest for today, Deanna Boyden. So Deanna, could you tell me about yourself aside from real estate?
Yes. I am a mom, a wife. I love to travel, and I love spending time with friends and family. But also, I'm really passionate by empowering women and young investors like yourself.
Thank you. Absolutely. What kind of work did you do before going into investing?
Oh, great question. I started out after college. I went to work for an airline, which really helped develop my love of travel and has given me the ability to travel around the world. I then spent some time with CMHC, Canada's National Housing Agency, in the mortgage area, and got to work with a lot of great lenders and people helping Canadians attain home ownership or safe and clean places to live. So that was really a passion for me. I then moved into cybersecurity training, which was something I didn't know much about. I wasn't technical. I was on the business side. It was an absolutely incredible experience. I got to meet a lot of people from around the world who worked to secure the internet. And I traveled to a lot of great cities, which was fantastic, and met thousands of students in our classrooms.
Wow, that sounds like a great job.
It was a lot of fun. And I was, I got to travel to places, Los Angeles to New York City to London, England to Orlando. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. So I'm right.
What first got you thinking about real estate as an investment?
Well, as a teenager, I've been with my husband. I've been with him since we were quite young. We lived in a small town, and we had this idea of having 3 or 4 homes that we would move around to, and we would rent them out when we weren't there. This was long before Airbnb was a thing, but we just had this idea of combining our love for travel. And then as we got older, we bought our very first property. There was a single wide trailer, and we managed to make a little bit of money on it. And we started to realize that real estate as a hobby was fantastic. We didn't turn it into a business for quite a few years, but it's been our main business for about 11 years.
That sounds great. It sounds like you almost invented like the Airbnb kind of style. I bet you. How was it like when Airbnb came out? What was your reaction to that?
Oh, I loved it. The ease. We used to, when we traveled, we would stay in other people's homes that way. And often you would have to have like a magazine or something that showed it, and you would mail keys back and forth. So the technology that has come in and just revolutionized that business, not just booking on Airbnb, but the insurance, being able to vet the people who are in those properties, the technology around having access codes, and being able in constant contact with your guests. I absolutely love creating vacation spaces where memories are made. And I love nothing better than seeing a family, multi-generational family gatherings, and afterwards seeing that there were maybe streamers taped up or, those sort of things. So I've been passionate about vacation rentals as well. That's been a lot of fun through our journey.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Why did you choose real estate over other options?
I think the flexibility. For me personally, it gives us freedom. We get to be our own boss. We get to set our schedule. But I also had this passion because of the time I was spent with CMHC to understand the importance and the dignity that's provided with the safe, clean, affordable housing for Canadians. And not all people are meant to own home. Home ownership is not meant for everyone. So if we can do that with rental properties, if we can help people to attain home ownership through a rent to own, maybe after a divorce or a work loss, something like that, I think there's something really rewarding to helping people have a home. And then, of course, our love of travel and vacation spaces led us to the point where, we had some vacation rentals and a boutique hotel now.
That's great. That's really great. What kind of deals do you like to buy?
Oh my goodness, Ryan. We specialized in diversification. So, a lot of people now are getting right into multifamily investing, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
We do multifamily investing as well. we're passive investors a lot of time. So we invest in 3 countries. I couldn't do all that work myself, but I can invest with other people. So we'd have, interest in really big projects in the U.S., for example, that I could never run a 500-unit complex in the U.S., but I have the people who are doing it, and we just invest our money with them. So that's been kind of an interesting way for us to invest, and we have diversified across a few asset classes. I'm even invested in a car wash.
Really?
Yeah, that was kind of a fun one.
How's that going?
Good, I think. An upcoming thing that we have actually is one of our partners needs to move a business into a commercial space. So we're actually going to work to help her obtain that space to own it herself. So rather than renting a space for her company, she's ready to buy her own and rent out the rest of the bays in a commercial plaza.
Wow.
Yes. So
Good
you
for
never
her.
know what asset class might all of a sudden, become an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What do you avoid?
What do we avoid?
Yeah, what investments do you avoid?
Okay. So I generally like to invest in assets that I could see myself living in or using. So we've done a lot of student housing, for example, and we're not doing much of it anymore. We did a ton of it when our kids were students. So if it's not something that interests me, I'm probably not going to invest in it.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start investing, and how's the journey going so far?
We started investing over 25 years ago. Wow. And it's going great. It's ups and downs. There's good and bad. There's highs and lows. Some people look and say, oh, you were so lucky. No, there was a lot of work, a lot of late nights, a lot of picking up the paintbrush ourselves. But it's been an incredible journey, and now we're at a point where we get to work with others to help them learn how to do it, and work with them in, mentoring and coaching, and I love that. I love helping others on that journey as well.
Absolutely. How do you look at risk versus reward in a deal before buying?
Excellent question. You are wise beyond your years, young man. I think that, risk is something that's always evolving. I like to look at my existing portfolio as well as the deal in front of me. I also like to look at my own risk profile. There are times when I'm willing to take on a little more risk or reward, and there are times when I'm a little more conservative. And so it's all 3 things. It's not just the project or investment that we're looking at. It's also what we all much hold in our portfolio and how we're sort of feeling about risk at the time. And I think that's really important to remember, that a risk evaluation is not a one-time thing. That should be ongoing. You should be looking at your own portfolio, at your own risk profile, every time you look at a deal.
That's a great way to say it, yeah.
Right.
What's been your best investment to date?
Ooh, interesting. I think investing...
I had an interview earlier, and somebody said almost exactly the same thing. And
Yeah,
it's
really
a problem.
important. You don't want to take advice from somebody, or criticism from somebody who hasn't done what you want to do. I think that's really important. I think the most important work I've done is on my own mindset and learning when to take a risk, when not, when to push myself, when not to. But understanding the sky is the limit, and the only person who can put limits on me should be me.
That sounds great.
Was that a handshake?
I don't know. Let's do it.
Against knuckles. I love it.
What trends are you seeing in the real estate market right now, and where specifically?
Oh, well, we invest across Canada and the U.S., so we see a lot of stuff. I think one of the first things, is to remember there's no such thing as the Canadian real estate market or the American real estate market. It's really about each individual micro market, each city, each neighborhood, each asset class. I think you have to get that granular, look down on things. Don't decide that real estate is no good in an entire country. There are great deals all the time.
Absolutely. How do you handle property management?
I have some great property managers.
Great. Absolutely.
And I think you need to hire people who are smarter than you. I learned that in business, in the corporate world. And what I mean by that is I need to hire somebody who knows the regulations, who knows the local market, who is really good at selecting tenants for our property. Let them do their job. I want to be a good business partner to them as well. So we have multiple property managers that we work with and have worked with over the years. Some have been good, some haven't been. So we've also learned a lot from the ones that weren't.
Do you usually invest with on your own or with partners? And what are the pros and cons?
Ooh, another great question. So we've done a lot of investing on our own. We've done a lot of investing with partners. Sometimes we've worked with partners because there was an opportunity there presented by them. Other times we've brought in partners because we maybe need their skills. Maybe they have better skills. Like I've partnered with people who are professionals in real estate. I've partnered with people who are great at construction. I've partnered with an accountant, which, he is amazing at running numbers and things like that. Advantages to both. Often you can get into bigger projects as part of a team. I love working on a team. And other times you might know, I bought an antique building, an historic building that was just too risky to share with partners. I wasn't comfortable sharing that risk. I liked the building. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't want to subject somebody else to that risk. So there are times where you want to do both. I think the advantage is you can access more. The advantage to working on your own is you have more flexibility.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you have any businesses that support you, that you own, that you'd like to promote?
Well, I run Real Power, which is a network for female investors. And we empower women to use their choices and voices to create a lifestyle of their own design with the portfolio to support it. And I love that. I believe that every woman and every young person, they had just one investment to ensure their financial security, the world would be a much better place. So thank you for asking that question.
You're welcome.
Yes.
What would be your advice for me right now to be successful in the future?
Get educated, take action, continue to take action, and always surround yourself with people who are doing what you want to do. I think you're doing a great job of that being excellent.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And here's my last question.
Okay.
Is there any book, resource, or person that influenced you on your journey for this real estate investing?
It takes a village to raise me. I've got some favorites for sure. I have my real estate mentors within the networks that I belong to have been really important to me. In terms of, the big names, I'm a follower of Brendan Burchard. High Performance Habits has always been really important to me. I love Mel Robbins. She is kind of a no-nonsense girl, and she speaks to my heart.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me, Ryan. This was great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.